In this video, we're going to talk about composition of functions, and we're going to evaluate those using a table. So composition of functions can be written two different ways. We've got this small open circle, kind of looks like a product dot. So we want to make sure that we don't misread this as f times g of x. So this would be read as f of g of x. It can also be written like this. And so again, either way we have these written, we read f of g of x, and we have to go inside out, which I think this one's a little easier to kind of see how we go inside out. So we go x input into g, and that gets input into f. Again, x gets input into g, and then that output gets input into f. So we're basically doing an input giving us an output, which is our new input into our last output, or our last function. So we've got our table here. Notice that we've got an input column for x, and we have two different output columns, depending on whether we're using the a function or b function. Okay, so we can label this as input. This is output for a, output for b. Okay, so again, we see that we've got our notation written a little differently. Open circle, or written with the other parentheses, those both mean the same thing. So if these were both a 0, a of b of 0 and a of b of 0 would mean the same. So we're going to go ahead and do the first one, a of b of 0. So remember, we're kind of going inside out. Z is the input. That's the only thing we can really do to start. So we're going to input 0 into our b function. So our input of 0 into our b function gives us an output of 2. And so the way I like to write this is, I like to rewrite it like this. And so now b of 0 gave us 2 here, right? So now 2 is our output for b of 0, and now 2 becomes our new input into the a function. So now we go to 2. Our a function gives us an output of -2. Okay. Make sure to try these others before we go over them. We'll go a little quicker here. So a of b of -3. -3 input into our b function gives us an output of 3. And so now 3 is our new input into our a function. Input of 3 gives us an output of -1. Okay. Next one, b of a of 2. 2 is our input into a. Oh no. I like to just kind of rewrite it like this. A of 2. 2 input gives us an output of -2. Well, that's our new input in to our b function as we go inside out, and -2 gives us an output in our b function of 9. Last one, a of -3. Just because we have two different functions here doesn't mean a composition is going to include both. We could have a composition within the same function. So this is a of -3. So -3 input into our a function gives us 1. So now 1 is our new input into, again, our a function. So input of 1 gives us -4.